Hey, thanks for coming by and checking out Pete Snakebite Kid again. What we're going to talk about today is, does she love it or does she hate it? We're going to go into some details. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to interview my wife about the Cobra build and the kind of the whole experience. You may find this interesting. It was actually kind of enlightening to me to talk through this with her. So here we go. We're going to talk about what she thought about it, what she thinks about it. You know, was this different than what she thought it was going to be, better or worse? But most importantly, at the end, we're going to get that answer. Does she love this thing or does she hate it? Stay tuned. Let's take a look. Okay, honey, this is your big moment. You always wanted to be famous. This is the entire YouTube universe. Well, maybe a small niche of it that watches my silly YouTube channel. Anyway, this is my wife, Davlin. I wanted to give you guys an idea what it's like from her point of view. Right? So that's what we're going to talk about, kind of get the good and bad, find out if there's more good or bad. Anyway, let's go through a little bit of interview here. Okay, so there's a little bit of setup for this, and I've covered this in earlier videos, but it's a few years ago at this point. When I met my wife, I had a lot of hot rods and stuff growing up, but I didn't really have any, since we had been married, a couple things that really not of any notice. Anyway, but I talked about this Cobra to anybody that would listen since before I had even met her. So there came a point in our life where we decided we can go ahead and do this Cobra thing. What was kind of the tilting point for you thinking this is going to make sense to go ahead and do it?
Well, you've been talking about it since we were first married.
Non-stop.
You know, everything Cobra. So after our daughter was married and that big expense was over with, then I figured that if you don't do it now, when are you going to do it? And you might be too old to drive it, so.
I almost did now. Yeah.
You know.
But it was a big deal to get the green light from me because we've got the two kids. You did awesome weddings for both of them and got those expenses out of the way, and you're like, yeah, might as well go ahead.
Yes.
You know, that was I actually remember exactly where I was standing when she said that. I'm like, that's a green light. Okay, so I got a few questions for you. You want to tell them because they want to know. So you knew I've been wanting this for a long time, and we've talked about it and so on. And I had some thoughts of what it would be like driving it and having it be kind of part of our life. Now that you've been in it, we've got a few hundred miles on it together and so on. The riding experience, like it, love it? Is it different than what you thought?
It's very relaxing. I actually enjoy it.
That was a surprise to me. Because in our regular cars, you know, you're not completely at ease sometimes with, you know, traffic situations and so on. And I tell you what, it makes me really happy that she enjoys it and that she's relaxed in it. But you like it, huh?
Well, but I enjoy being out on the road in the Cobra because it's open air and we're not usually on the freeways and traffic. And
yeah.
So that makes a big difference.
The freeway is not as much fun. I mean, if you've driven one, you know, when you're sitting at the steering wheel or she's sitting over there and you look over, I mean,
yeah, I don't like to see
wheel right there.
Semi-wheel in my face.
Yeah, that's a little unsettling, right?
Yeah.
Okay, a long time ago, we rented a Cobra. It was a Factory 5. We went to Payson, Arizona, drove it all over in the mountains, foothills, whatever they have in Arizona. Went to Sedona, Cottonwood, a few places.
Well, I remember it was a lot of fun because, A, you really wanted to drive one.
Yeah.
And, you know, it was a cool car. The biggest thing I remember about that trip is you racing the Porsche down the mountain.
That was kind of fun.
Yeah. But I liked it then. Had a
That
good
was a
time.
while ago. Statute of limitations are long past. We weren't going that fast. I don't think we went much over 100. Anyway, but that was fun, yeah?
Yes.
Kind of got you a taste for it. And you liked it.
I liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I always wanted you to have the car.
So when I first got all the parts for this or ordered everything, I thought, man, I'm going to put this thing together in like 6 months. And I really didn't even have a good vision of how long it would take. It took 1.5 years, I'm going to say, by the time I had all the parts that were delayed from COVID. But from your perspective, the time it took me to build it versus kind of what you envisioned, more or less, what was your take on that?
Well, I don't know how long a car is supposed to take to build.
What do you compare it to?
Yeah. I thought it took the appropriate amount of time. You worked on it a lot.
Yeah.
As it started to take shape, it was more exciting to see it, even when it was, before it was painted. It was kind of fun and exciting. In some ways, it seems faster.
Okay.
Like I didn't think you'd have it painted and ready to go like this, but I think it's the appropriate amount of time. I can see it taking other people longer.
Yeah.
And maybe some people shorter, depending, you had a full-time job.
So like any guy, I've had some hobbies over the years, and one of them, I raced motocross for a long time on and off, and another thing I did for a while was long distance running. And I call them hobbies, she called them obsessions, I don't really know why, but those things, I'm gone for the day. I mean, if I'm going to ride moto, I get up very early, get there, ride, come home sore, and I'm pretty useless. And the runs, a short run's 2 hours and a long one is all day, or if it's a triathlon kind of thing. So at least on this hobby or obsession, I'm in the garage, and if something needs to be done or whatnot, I kind of felt like it was a little bit more balanced, even though it took a long time. I was closer to, the house, the activities, and so on. What's your take on that?
Well, it's nice having you around. Those were rough years when you were running, and
I was gone a lot.
yeah. But you're pretty obsessive about this one too.
I call it driven, but you seem to call it obsessive. I guess his point of view. She's
But-
probably right.
Yeah. I mean, I spend a lot of time alone, even though you're in the garage,
Yeah.
which is fine, but we have two different personalities, so if you sat down for a minute, you're either doing a video or falling asleep.
Yeah, kind of that way. And truth be known, I travel a lot for work. So in addition to whatever I'm doing, I'm gone a lot during the week, which, leaves her alone and makes me feel kind of bad. So I tried to strike a balance between thrashing on this thing 24/7 or 12/4, however many days I'm home and whatnot. But I think it was better than being gone all day running.
Well, we spend a lot more time together. I don't run with you, obviously, and ride motocross with you, but it's nice to be the passenger. We have a lot of fun. We meet
Yeah.
a lot of people when we're out, and the car draws a lot of attention, which is sometimes embarrassing.
That's weird.
I don't know quite how to deal with that, but I'm learning.
Well, the time, now that it's done, we're able to spend really quality time together, riding and going places and so on. So that's kind of fun. Mm-hmm. On this thing, the Cobra in general, right? It's done, it's painted, it runs most of the time. Would you say you tolerate it? Would you say you like it? Or would you say you love it? Or maybe there's variations in there. I don't know.
I would say that it's a testament to how much I love you. Because it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
I've heard about it for a long time. It's something I wanted you to have. I'm glad that you have it. It's a lot more fun than I thought it would be, just riding in it. I'm real proud of you for doing it, and I'm really glad it's kind of over, although it's never going to be over. I like it. It's good. I'm glad. I'm happy.
Good. If you're happy, I'm happy.
So from my perspective,
Yeah.
it was great to use the leverage on my shopping habits
There's that.
to basically have, it doesn't cost as much as your Cobra kind of thing. I did get some use out of that, although
You
that,
did get a pretty good gilt ring last year. And all I could think is the money we're shoveling into this thing. And all she wanted was a wedding ring. No, a ring made out of my old wedding ring. And the diamonds put in it, set in white gold. And yeah, I'm really glad I did it. It's beautiful.
yeah, it's beautiful.
But how do I say no, right? Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, I enjoyed that part of it.
Good. I'm glad you did.
Yeah, in all reality, it'll be there till the day I die.
Which, the ring or the car? Or me?
They're using that against you
Oh,
whenever
okay.
I can.
The lever.
The lever.
Okay. So to kind of wrap this thing up, I am really grateful to be married to Davlin for a lot of reasons, but she puts up with a lot with me. And the other hobbies they had and things like that, she was always somewhat supportive. I think she's more supportive on this than any other stuff I've done. I mean, I'm probably not going to get hurt in this thing. You ride moto long enough, you're going to get hurt. We went through a few of those, didn't we?
Yeah, well, we're not going to get hurt, but I've often thought it might be our casket. Like
Hopefully it doesn't get to that.
Louise off the cliff. I don't know.
I do drive a Cobra like I rode a street bike. And the way I rode a street bike was good luck hitting me. Everybody else has a right of way. I don't do anything stupid, hardly ever. And just try and keep everybody safe and out of danger's way. But I've really enjoyed the process, but I cannot tell you how much more enjoyable this is when she says, I love riding in the car. That makes all the difference to me. I mean, I kind of envision going on long drives by myself with friends or whatnot, and sometimes coaxing her into riding in the car with me. Like, I'll do some tune on it and go around the block and come back. She's like, you didn't want me to go? I'm like, that's all you got to say, because now every time I leave the house, I'm like, hey, I'm going to get some gas. You want to go? And she usually wants to go with me. That's a huge plus for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I do enjoy going. I'm glad that I'm not young because my kids are grown and self-sufficient, and if we die, it'll be okay. But I always figure, when you said you won't get hurt. No, we probably won't get hurt, but we could die.
Yeah, there's a mortality thing to it. Yeah,
and me especially, because there's no roll bar on my side, and I figure, that's
well,
a
the
trade-off.
roll bar, there is some protection on your side because it wouldn't necessarily.
Yeah,
it would support the car upside down. That is true.
I'm glad you have it. I don't worry about it too much. But if we were to roll or be in an accident, it'd be bad.
Yeah. We were in a very bad accident. We were very fortunate to come out almost unscathed. Somebody hit us in her Explorer, hit by the right front tire. It actually went airborne and rotated 180 degrees before it landed. And she broke her window with her head from the impact from the side. And, it's pretty shivering to think of that. I don't think we'd have survived that in the Cobra. And the guy ran a red light at 50 miles an hour and blindsided us. And yeah, there's a mortality thing to this. But, when I rode moto, every time I put the boots on, he nose into a gate. I'm like, is this going to be the one? And thankfully, there was nothing that was career ending. It just, had a lot of bumps and bruises and things along the way. And I remember them all now, because you get to my age and you wake up in the morning, you're like, that was Carlsbad, no, it's Elsinore, and so on. But anyway, we're liking the Cobra.
We love the Cobra.
We love the Cobra. Hey, thanks for watching, you guys. I hope this was interesting. Let me know in the comments.